Look at that guy. So disappointed. We're going to tell a story with silhouettes here in Photoshop and then in Camtasia. So, let me give you the context. Professor is listing a few facts. We'll go back farther. So, what you can see is that we have this style of these white silhouettes that sometimes have motion, as in the case of the dude with his arm pointing here. And we're now filling in the next bit of audio, which is executional strategy in shorter periods of time. Okay, so how do we visually show that concept? That is the challenge. Okay, executional strategy in shorter periods of time. He's describing things that are problems. So that makes me think of somebody that's getting burned out. And so I grabbed those bits of stock, this dude, and then I thought this woman, and I thought we'd put them together because she looks tired. He just looks bored to me. So he's not going to work out. So we'll cut you. So this is an example of using a couple bits of stock to tell a story. And then I think if we want to add emotion to it, maybe we could have a clock behind them that's ticking furiously. That shows just how much pressure they're feeling. So I'm going to grab this part and paste it into this Photoshop document. Keeping track of my layers. We're going to, just the old-fashioned way, snip these dudes out of the picture. They've been cut. Yeah. And before we get too crazy, let's give ourselves a background. I like to have a background when I'm working with transparencies. I like to have a background color. This image is in the wrong mode. Change to RGB mode. Boop. Don't merge. Boop. So green. Yeah, like a green screen. So I'm gonna get rid of all the white using the wand tool and do the same for this gentleman. Oh, interesting. Okay. So as you can see, we don't have, he's not full body and she is. Well, we gotta get him at the same size. Yeah, it's about the same size. Yeah, try that. So, the question is, does it still tell the story if we have to crop her to match him, right? So imagine that they're sharing a desk, right? So you can really be quite manipulative with these things and tell the story you wanna tell with these silhouettes. It's just, if you find the right ones, and you could also just draw them, So they're sharing a desk. He's like, man, this sucks. And she's like, oh, I'm so tired. I like that. Okay. But what we won't have is about this much of her. Ugh, they hate it. They hate it. That's funny. Okay. I think that's pretty funny. So if we brought that in. Yeah, so what are we gonna do for the desk? I think we'll use, let's see, his desk. So we'll get rid of her desk. Just keep her computer. Come on, choose the right layer. And then it's as simple as clipping out the bits you don't want. Erase them. And when you bring that back in, gotta tell you, it looks a lot like they're at the same desk. That's great. Alright, so bring it in the middle. Look at them, they're so burned out. Ugh, it's rough. I think we could bring her closer in. We just don't want to waste any space. Now that we have her legs removed, she could be much closer in. Let's see if that... It's not quite it. She just looks more lazy than... She looks more bored there, like, over that way, I think. I like her here. She's like, ugh. Yeah. Okay. So let's export it and then go line it up. First, let's go to effects, make them that white color. It's just the style of this. It looks to me, the black silhouettes remind me too much of PowerPoint, so I make them color whiter over colors. Because I think white over colors looks better than black over colors, and I like the solid colors. Anyway, that's what we're working with here. And export you. So burned out. Right. Come over here. And we're going to get them placed. So burned out. Then we'll move on to the next one. So burned out. So burned out. Found it. Yeah. There they are. Oh man, I'm so burned out. Yeah, you know, I feel like yeah, that probably works, right? The one previous is like that. You bring these guys in. They do look kind of like they're drowning in the background. Maybe if we make them a little bigger. They're like, oh, I'm so burned out, dude. Okay, let's look at the context. I think that's pretty funny. I think it works. So, and I don't think we need to add the clock. I think it works as is. So let's steal some stuff. Yeah. Right. come in here. And what does he say? Shorter periods of time, I think, is the headline. Shareholder pressure. Shorter periods of time. Is it going to work? Yes. Okay, that worked. So we can animate them to come in and go out. So okay, let's group these because we want them to animate together. They're moving together. Saves us a little time to group them. Okay, 10 frames. Go to view. Right, and they're going to end up here, and we want them to start out to the left. So let's grab them and move them. There they go. That was not 10 frames. That was forever long. See how weird that is. Look, that. It's odd to me that Camtasia, when you do an animation, does it at 30 frames. Because it's so, to me, it's so long. You can't, yeah, we're not really seeing the context because it's not processing it well, but. Yeah, it looks so goofy when it comes in slow. That's why I do 10 frames. It's a third of a second. It keeps the energy up. That's about when it should leave. This gentleman leaves great pauses. We can put the transitions inside of. Okay. And just like that, you're out of there. So that is okay. The next one is increased complexity of business models. So I think what could be funny there would be to have someone's doing a presentation and there's a guy with his hands on his head, just like, what is this? I don't even understand it. Okay, I think that'd be funny. Okay, so I'm gonna go find some stock to that effect, and then we'll be right back. Alright, I've got the new stock made, so here is a lovely, complicated flowchart along with this woman standing akimbo and this fellow who has got no idea. He's got no idea. No idea what that flowchart means. So here's our shorter periods of time. And then these guys are going to come flying in. No clue. Absolutely no clue how to read that flowchart. Which is kind of funny. So, where to place them? Where to place them? Get them sized right. It's important to find a good framing here where they're both looking at the chart, regarding the chart, And we can see that they're confused. What is, I think she, yeah, look, he's got a tie. She's got, I think I grabbed the wrong person. She's from our last go. Here she is. This is the real one. Here in Photoshop. Export you. Chart confusion 2. We'll remove you and bring in the right cast member. There we go. Well, now she's tiny. So get them around the same height, head-wise is where I look. Get them to where their feet are roughly the same spot here. Does that look right? He needs a little bit of adjustment. Yeah. He's like, what? What in the world? I don't understand. These charts. Oh, they just... they put my hair in a bun. Yeah, a little smaller. We'll put a square around it as well, a box around it. So it looks like it's on a board or something like that. Yeah. So, call outs. Add a box. Put it in the right place. Go over here. What's the fill? Nothing. What's the border? White. How big is the border? 10. There we go. Is it too big? The whole thing? Maybe we make these guys a little closer to it. Oh, these charts. I don't understand. What? What is it? Square? Circle? Just some adjustments and then we'll... Yeah, he looks like he... Once it's framed, you know, we're good. Yeah, these can all be a group. Love that group feature. Group them up. Line it up with the other. 10 frames. Add animation. Go back to the start, click it, and off screen they go in all their confusion. And now let's watch it. It's great. It's great. Although we forgot the text. Yeah. Ungroup you. And grab the text. Steal it from the previous one, maybe. Yeah. Or did we start it? No, we'll come over here to this group. Copy it. Close the group. Paste it over here. And then increased complexity is the name of the game here, because they're looking at all these flowcharts and the voiceover. It's talking about the increased complexity of companies and their structures. So now we can animate you out. These guys are like, oh, I'm so burned out, man.
You think you have problems? I'm supposed to memorize this chart. Oh.
Alright, let's watch the whole context.
What?
There are a number of reasons for this. Shareholder pressure. Shorter periods of time to carry out strategy. Increased complexity of organizations. I like it. He looks confused. It says heck.
I'm pulling out my hair. What does all this mean?
So that's, we'll keep adding to this, but that's plenty for now. Thank you for joining in, and we'll see you next time. So long for now.